Happy video day, guys, and today's video is a final thoughts video. I've got a few products here I've got final thoughts on, and we've got one product here that I didn't try that long ago, but I literally put it to the test every single day since the day I bought it to give you guys a final thought as quickly as I possibly can. Some of these other products have been products that I've been testing out for a month. Some of them I've been testing out for a few weeks. These are some products that I feel like have been pretty in demand recently, and I feel like people really want to know what is the final tea on this. Oh my god, I said tea. Ugh, I don't like that word. When I do first impressions on products, for the most part, I'm trying out the products for the first time on camera with you guys. So the opinion that I have on it is based off of like how someone would apply something for the first time. And sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes things are amazing. It is a first impression. That's why I always come back and tell you guys my review follow-ups. These are my final thoughts. This is putting it to my test, trying different methods of making something work, and telling you guys how it works. So with that intro, I want to start off with the Natasha Denona Bloom Palette. Now, I feel like I should start off with this palette because I put this in a first impression that I did last week. Literally took this product out of the box and tried it on my face for the first time without watching any videos, no reviews on it. I just wanted to see how I would like it just applying it. I only watched Natasha Denona's kind of like tutorial that she put up on Instagram. I didn't do it the way I would typically put it on. I wanted to do it the way she did it because I felt like maybe that way I would give it a fair shot, because I'm not really used to working with cream products. I use them. I use specific ones that I am very used to. I don't gravitate to cream blushes as often. I have a few that I like and I usually don't use them. So I just wanted to make sure to use it the way that she said it was to be used. Plus, you've got a lot of items in here that typically you wouldn't put so many items on your face in one shot. So this is a different, innovative kind of product. The first way I use this product is the way I did in my first impression, and that was by putting on all the cream products on my face and then followed by the blush. The blush, I used a normal brush. I did not use a dual fiber brush. However, even if I would have used the dual fiber brush, I have a feeling that I would have still picked up too much because I am used to being a little bit heavy-handed with blushes. So by clicking in here and putting it on my face, I feel like I put too much product on. Even though I did try to tap lightly, this is very pigmented. You've got to put like hardly anything on your brush. Then I feel like when I put on the all over glow, this glow here, I feel like I brought the glow cream too low and it got stuck to the bronzer. That's what I think happened because I've done this a few other ways. I did put this one all over kind of my cheek area and I did use the highlight perfectly fine. I thought these two products were outstanding. I had issues with the two creams. So the second time that I used this product and used a sponge, dabbed into here, put very little, and just kind of like worked it in this way. I feel like it did sheer out the blush to the point that it was still pigmented. Like I'm telling you, still rosy, but it was able to be a little bit more acceptable for me. And then I skipped the glow. I didn't use the glow. I went into this one and then I put the highlight. I think that that looked very pretty. I liked the way it looked. I put the bronzer over that and it didn't give me any patchiness. It didn't get caught in this. That worked really good for me. The way that I used it today, I feel like is my favorite method, and I really actually like this. One of my biggest tests with cream products is if they actually work good over powder. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but you're not supposed to do that. I know that, but because I am super busy, I am one of those people that I don't have the luxury of sitting there and doing my makeup like this. I put on my entire face of makeup, bronzer, everything. Powder products. Then I went ahead and used a sponge and dabbed into the blush, went like this and worked it in, worked it in. It is a little bit bright. It still is bright, guys, even with the sponge. This is pigmented. Now, I didn't have to blend out that much because I didn't put that much product, but by going like this, I was able to come out with a very pretty color, as you guys can see. Then I used the glow today, and I put the glow over right here on my cheekbones. I already had put my powder bronzer on. I didn't have the issue of the bronzer getting stuck to the glow. Do you see what I'm saying? So I put the glow on, and then after I kind of just dabbed this color, which I love this color. I put this right all over my cheek area, and this is a beautiful duochrome color. It's amazing. Then I put the highlight right on the highlights of my cheeks. My favorite method of it is putting it on after I put on my bronzer and my powder products, which is actually a huge plus for me because I personally don't like products that I have to put the creams on first. So I feel like overall, After using this product for 4 times in a row, the 2 issues that I had, one of them, is it going to work over powder products, was solved. It does. This is my favorite color in here. I love this dual chrome. This is just beautiful, and I want to use this just as a blush alone. I know it will look beautiful, and the highlight is very pretty, but if you have texture, it may accentuate a little bit of texture because it's an extreme glow. Like, it's really glowy. So, you know, anytime you have something super glowy, you're gonna see a little texture, you know? So I do see a little texture because of this product here. Now, my least favorite has turned into this one, which is crazy. I still think that this one here is a little bit bright for my skin tone, and I feel like the amount of product that you need to put on your sponge, meaning that you have to put so little, is a little bit exaggerated of too little, and I would wear it like this. Now, for an Instagram photo, maybe I would blow it out and make it look a little bit more exaggerated, because also the camera washes out the color a little bit, so my color right now might be a little bit darker than you guys are seeing it on camera. So just always keep that in mind too. If you see something already very dark on camera, most likely it's even darker in person. Like I said before, I thought the formula seemed like it was good. It seemed like it had a good formula. I still believe that if you are the type of person who's not willing to try a little bit with your makeup and you want something quick, this isn't for you, because I'm telling you, you need to work with the blush. You have to put very little on. And if you're heavy-handed, you can mess up your makeup. It's funny because I do like these two a lot. The blush, I can live with the color if I put very, very little on. This one is the only one that I'm like, I don't know, it's just not, it's pretty, but it's just not everything to me. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys, I am not 100% sure if I'm going to keep this product yet. The reason I'm gonna tell you is, first, I need to return it because I did get a broken highlighter. My highlighter is completely demolished, if you guys can see. When I received it, this highlighter was completely broken. I smushed it in for the video. But my issue is that this palette is $55 and the Daria palette from her is $89. And the Daria palette I have seen looks a lot larger than this one. You do get a lot more pan size. You also get 6 products compared to 4 products. So basically $30 more gets you bigger pans and a larger palette. I have also looked at the Daria online, and for me personally, I almost feel like the tones in the Daria palette are tones that I would like more. This one visually is a lot more beautiful than the Daria palette, because visually this is a beautiful palette. I love these 2 colors. I am still on the fence. I have to return this guy. Whether I'm gonna reorder it or not, I'm not sure. I really honestly wish that Natasha Denona would come out with almost this exact same palette. It had 2 more colors to it, and I would have been even more in love with this, and I would have paid the $89 for it. Or if this blush color right here was just a lighter tone. That's just like my personal preference on this product. I do think that there is going to be a lot of people who are going to love this product. I think the packaging is ingenious. I think that Natasha Denona's packaging is insanely ingenious. I love this packaging. I put very, very little on, blended it out, and I do feel like it blended good. And I do really love the glow. I always thought that it looked like a natural skin look, which I do kind of love. I do like the way it makes your skin look. So my final thought on it is it's a very pretty palette. It has a nice formula. Love the fact that it works good over powder products. So it definitely is pretty. I like it more now than I did when I first tried it on, because when I first tried it on, it was scary. Like, I like innovative makeup, but I didn't want it to look clowny. Like, I did read somebody say in the comments that this could look very clown makeup, and it's true, it can. I'm not gonna lie, this can look clown makeup. And you guys, I'm telling you guys, straight up true reviews here, like what I really think. This can get clowny. You have to be careful and be light-handed. This is for somebody who really loves blush too. Remember that, you gotta love blush. So that's my final thoughts on this. I definitely think it's a very pretty palette. I think that if you work it the right way, you can definitely come up with a beautiful face look if you work it the right way. If you work it the wrong way, you can look like a clown. This is my holy grail foundation right now, guys. The L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation is one of the most beautiful foundations that I have tried in a very long time. I don't think I have seen another foundation, I have that on right now, that looks so natural yet full coverage. I don't feel like I have anything on my skin right now. It feels so skin-like, it feels breathable, it doesn't dry me out, it doesn't give me anything that looks like it's a dry patch. I cannot say any more good things about this, guys. I am not somebody who likes drugstore foundations. I have been the first one to tell you guys that I don't own that many drugstore foundations because they don't work out for me. They break me out, they look too cakey. This has been, like, I feel like this guy is even better than some of my high-end foundations. If you guys have not tried this yet, I don't say this often in my channel to buy something. Like, I usually tell you guys it's up to you. This is something that I would highly recommend that you guys buy, like, and just try it. If you're looking for a good foundation that gives you kind of like a satin kind of finish, because I don't feel like it's very dewy, but I don't feel like it looks matte at all. And I do think that your face does get a little oily throughout the day, but it's pretty good. Like, it's not like bad oily, it's dewy oily. If you're looking for a very good foundation that lives up to high-end foundations and is not expensive, you guys, I've been wearing this nonstop. I went the other day out and I picked this one over the next foundation I'm going to show you, which is pretty crazy. So the next one I'm going to tell you about is the Mercier Flawless Lumineer Radiance-Perfecting Foundation. Why is there so many words in this foundation? I will never know. But I will tell you that this is also a very beautiful foundation. This one looks a little bit more like you have foundation on, like more than this one that I have on right now. I feel like this one looks a little bit heavier. I do feel like you feel it more on your skin, but I feel like this one lasts a lot longer than the L'Oreal one. The L'Oreal one looks really good for a good 10 hours-ish. I feel like this Mercier one, after wearing it like a bunch of different times, has a prettier finish at the end of the day. And I think it's a beautiful foundation. It gives you a luminous effect without making you look very dewy or anything. It's definitely a beautiful medium coverage foundation that can be built up, but definitely medium I think is where it's at. And I really like this one too. This is a very beautiful foundation. If you guys aren't comfortable buying a drugstore foundation, or if you guys are like me right now that I'm like, why don't I use the drugstore foundation for stuff that is like everyday and now save my expensive foundation for like events and stuff that I want my foundation to last long? These two guys have been awesome. I love them both. I highly recommend either one. Okay, let's move on to two eyeshadow palettes. This one, It's My Pleasure palette, guys. This has been awesome. Beautiful Colourpop palette. I think that this might be the best formula from Colourpop. Color scheme and the formula of all of these shadows is out of this world spectacular. The shimmers on here are literally amazing. Like, they give some high-end shimmers a run for their money, these metallic shades. The dual chromes are beautiful. The mattes work pretty decent. I feel like everything about this palette is absolutely stunning. I love this palette. This color here with the glitters in it is the only one that's kind of a flop for me because you don't really see the glitters too much, but that's fine because I actually like the color better without the glitters. But for the most part, I love this palette. You are gonna get very pinky eyes though, so if you guys have already like pink, purple toned eyeshadow palettes, this doesn't give you too much variation away from that. But for me personally, I love it. I think it's beautiful, and for the price point, spot on. Let's talk about another Natasha Denona palette. So this palette here, the Safari palette, guys, this thing is amazing. Like, I don't even know how there could be a bad review on it. Honestly, I love it. I just love this palette. I love the colors in it. I have it on my eyes today. I think it works beautifully. It blends really good. You know, you do have to know a little bit of color story. I have said this before. If you mix some of these colors together, you can come up with muddy looks. I can see that happening. This palette is extremely powdery. I totally think that. So if you guys don't like powdery shadows, you're not gonna like this. But I think I have used every single one of the colors in this palette, and I absolutely love this palette. I actually had it in my makeup drawer last month, and I literally use this one more than any other palette. I use this one so much. I'm somebody who likes to put metallic shimmery stuff on my eyes, and I didn't every time I used this, and I loved it. So that says a lot. This is such a win. It's smart, it's innovative. I love that you can pop out the shadows if you're a makeup artist. I think this is an awesome packaging. I actually love the packaging of this, and I love it. I think it's this is phenomenal. I really like it. If this goes on sale, guys, if you guys like the colors in here, I totally recommend it. I love it. This is another product I really like. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I got it in number 2. I love this. Like, I love this powder, guys. This powder is the softest, most beautiful powder I have ever used. I use this powder to set my under eyes. That is a big deal for me, that this works so amazing. Like, I can set my under eyes with just this powder and my under eyes do not crease. It looks beautiful on the face. It doesn't give you a cakey kind of like powdery effect. I think that this really is an airbrush powder. I love this. I can't say any more good things about it. I've used it a ton. It is my go-to powder. I've actually stopped using loose setting powders because of this powder, so that's how much I love it. I'm gonna tell you guys one more. I wasn't gonna include this one, but I am. This is the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer. So I wanna say a few things about this concealer because I think it's important. This concealer is extremely full coverage. So kind of like the Natasha Denona palette, this is a trial and error type of concealer. You put too much of this concealer on, you will be super, super concealed, but almost to the point that I think it's too concealed. So this concealer is a little bit tricky. It's a beautiful full coverage concealer. It covers everything, but it can be too much. Put as little as possible as you possibly can of this concealer in order for it to look good. If you put too much, it can look very heavy. I feel like this concealer, even though very, very good, I'm not reaching for it because I do feel like I have to be very careful with it. I also feel like the color I got was a little bit too light. I got Merengue and it's a little light. I can make it work and it does look really nice and I do like the way it looks. However, I end up not grabbing it sometimes because it's so full coverage. I know some of you guys are probably saying, wait, but you love full coverage. And I do really love full coverage. It's a harder concealer to blend out because it's so thick. So when you put it on, you kind of have to blend it a lot. I kind of like full coverage creamy concealers that they blend a little bit easier. So even though I do like this concealer, I do not reach for it that often at all. The problem is that if I want something that's gonna be like super full coverage like that, my eyes like literally look like paste, I grab this one. So I don't use it that often. Just not for my everyday. I like this for events and I like this for things that are more heavy. Like I feel like even the Tarte Shape Tape I can wear more than this one because this one is just thick and heavy. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing. And then the other thing is this has a fragrance to it. Like it has a very rosy smell to it. It lingers under your eyes. I had it on once and I kept smelling around like, what is that smell? And I was kind of like going crazy for a while. I was like, did I put cream on? And then I realized it was my concealer. I guess I didn't realize when I was putting it on how much it smelled, but I smelled it later. So it took a while to kind of go away. So I do want to like let you guys know about that too. So I do mind fragrances, but it's certain fragrances that get me. Not every fragrance gets me. Some do. I think this very rosy smell of this one kind of gets me a little, you know, ish. So I do like the concealer, but it's not one of my favorites and I don't reach for it that often. So for the most part, I don't reach for it that often at all. So I don't dislike the concealer. I like it. I just don't feel like it will ever be an everyday concealer for me. And I probably will not repurchase it in the future. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me those thumbs up. And if you like the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.